Some of this.
Ready?
Sir.
I'm here with Catholic baseball team, 11-10 victory over Mount Union. Coach, if you give an opening statement about the game today.
Well, this is a classic high-level D3 college baseball game. Absolutely either team could have won. We just happened to, pitch a little bit better when we needed to, get a big hit when we needed to, and just came out one run ahead, despite a great comeback and competitive game from Coach Cressy and his guys.
Coach, could you talk about McNamara coming in 2 innings and not allowing a single run for you guys there in the middle innings?
Right. The one position on our field that has the biggest impact on the outcome of a game, on winning and losing, is the pitcher. And when you can come in and shut the other team down, give your own team a chance to tie it and then get a big inning, that's what it's all about. It's invaluable. Mac did a terrific job today.
Talk about the 2 in the middle here, Posey and Johnson. They went 5-9 at the plate, 4 RBIs and a walk, as well as a home run today. Just talk about these 2 and how they help power your offense.
Yeah, in the course of a regular baseball game, you could get 4, 5, or 6 at bats, and if you come through in the biggest moment, in the biggest situation, that's why you practice. That's why you play. That's what you live for as a competitive college baseball player. And those guys came through when we needed it. Mitch hit the big home run to tie the game. Got our guys really, really fired up. And then Dante got a big single, drove in 2 to help us extend that lead when it mattered the most. The key to coaching a good team is a good team finds a way to play their best baseball when it means the most. And our guys did that today.
Mitchell, can you kind of talk, you had the home run, but talk about just the ball seemed like it was flying out for both teams out there, and it seemed like there wasn't much wind.
Yeah, I think the wind was blowing out a little bit. When we hit BP on the field yesterday, the ball was kind of flying. They're a very good offensive team. I know our offensive numbers don't look as good as they have in years past, but the amount of guys in our lineup who have had incredible seasons in previous years, we're a very old team. I think we have 7 seniors in the lineup. So just leaning on our experience and knowing that we're capable of it, regardless of what the stats have been this year.
Dante, can you kind of talk about that last at-bat for you and getting those 2 RBIs for you guys for the win?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I think sort of going off the same thing Mitch said, I think when we talk about our team, we like to fall back on our experience. So I think all our guys in the middle of the lineup being seniors, 1 grad guy, we've had 10, 20, 30 at-bats in that moment before, and it gets to a point where even though you understand how big the moment is, it feels like another at-bat. So when they walked Mitch, although you get the butterflies in your stomach, you're ready to go, it's one of those things where I can just lean on my experience. Had the privilege to play here 4 years now, so it's just another at-bat, and just try to get the job done for the team.
Mac, can you kind of talk about your 2 innings pitched? You had 2 strikeouts, faced the 6 batters, and got it all done there.
Yeah, just like Doc said, trying to keep the team in the game. It was a tie game, I think, or down 1 when I went in. So just trying to keep us in the game, trusting my defense. We've been playing a lot much better on defense lately. So just attacking hitters, honestly.
I'm going to open the floor to any other questions here.
Yeah, obviously 11-10, a lot going on, a lot of offense, certainly. Back in the second inning, Mitchell, Mount Union has bases loaded. They've already scored 4. You're shaded towards left center. You ran a long way to make a catch. And it was a sacrifice fly. They get a run. They get the double play right after that. What's going through your mind on that play? Because you're shaded one way, and all of a sudden it's going away from you. As you said, the ball's been carrying. It seemed like you got a good jump on it.
Yeah, we shift a lot of our shift cards, so trust what the card tells us to do. That ball just kept carrying. Honestly, off the bat, I didn't think I was going to get to it. But as the ball was carrying and going down the line, I knew it wasn't getting out, so I knew I had a shot to catch it. In that moment, you have to give it everything you got. That ball falls, totally different game.
And then, Coach, you get the double play right after that. So they get 5, which is not, but it could have been a lot worse, right?
Could have been a lot worse, and sounds cliche, but the double play is the biggest play in baseball. Anytime you can get one, you know, you keep the momentum going for your team and stop the momentum from the other team, and it's just a timely double play there.
You know, Mac, what's it like getting win number 1 this year in such a big spot? You know, the NCAA tournament, a game which was so back and forth, 2 perfect innings. I mean, statistically, your numbers are good, but you had a 0 in that win column. What's it like to come out here and be in not just the team when that's great, but also to have such a large role in it?
Yeah, I mean, it feels awesome. I feel like there was a point in the season where things just weren't going my way. I mean, it was multiple times in a row I'd pitch and maybe choke a lead or something. And that was really mentally taxing. I mean, I really had to bounce back after that. In these last few outings, I feel like I've just been on the right way up. And getting that first win is amazing, especially in a big game like this and coming back and winning that.
What's it mean that your coach has faith in you? Because you have a deep pitching staff. I mean, he certainly has a number of guys who could have gone to. He went to you, and maybe a season not on the line, but if you don't win this one, it's a long way back.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I thrive for those moments, I think. I play with a lot of energy on the mound, and I think big moments like that honestly help me succeed.
Dante, 3 of the last 4 years you guys have played in this tournament, and obviously you get a big win in the first game today. How have you guys been able to kind of lean on that experience of past years to come out and help you get this win in this one?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think like the coolest thing is being able to play 4 years. Like when I was a freshman, getting taken in by some of the older guys like Pete and Betty. Ben already coaches for us now. Just learning from them. I mean, it's been awesome. It sort of helps when guys in my class start playing their sophomore year, and we just keep playing and playing. And obviously we all sit here and we recognize how big these games are. Like you just said, season's on the line. It's a long way back if you lose game 1. At the end of the day, we have a lot of faith in ourselves, and I think earlier in the season, building that shell of adversity where we started off pretty rough, but 11 straight, it's the same thing over and over again. Rely on experience. I mean, we've been here before. No moment's too big for this team, and I think we all embrace that for sure.
And one last one for the guys, at least for me. You mentioned that experience. Mount Union, first time in the tournament in 13 years. We saw in the first game today, Rowan, who'd been in the tournament, taking on Grove City, who hadn't been in the tournament in 17 years. Certainly you could see some plays there too. How much did that experience, I mean, like I said, you had the big hit, everybody coming up big. How much do you think the fact of having been on the big stage paid off this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's huge. I mean, I think it was something, especially early on in my career, I didn't really, understand as much as people talked about it. But now as seniors, having such an older lineup, it really is just a sense of everyone's calm. We were down 6-5, I think for 4 or 5 innings straight. There was no panic, no one was pressing, putting together team at bats where in the past, we go down by a run and all of a sudden you hit the panic button, guys freak out. So I really think it's just a, overall collective sense of keeping calm, staying to our approach, and trusting ourselves in those big moments, trust our experience, and we fall back on experience and hard work at the end of the day.
Last one for me, Ross. Kind of talk about that 9th inning. You had so many big at bats. I mean, Jack Elwell pinch hits, gets the walk to kind of put 2 runners on for you there, and the train just kept on rolling from there. Just kind of talk about the approach you saw from your guys in that inning to come up in a big spot and end up getting the victory.
Yeah, it all starts, from the beginning of the inning. You get the first guy on, you get the second guy. Jack Elwell came in to pinch hit and had a great at bat, worked a walk, and then we just built on it from there. Got the big hits when we needed it right after that.
Last question for all you guys. I know you guys were joking earlier. You don't have to play the 8:30 game tomorrow. Kind of just talk about the motivation that you guys had to get to that noon game instead of the 8:30 game.
Yeah, I mean, last year we lost the first game to Adrian, and it was a really tough road back, and we ended up losing the championship. And we knew that you have to win game 1 to give yourself a good shot. Putting yourself in the driver's position, being 1-0 going into tomorrow is all you can ask for. Rowan's going to be a good game, but I mean, we can compete with anyone.
Cool. Well, good luck tomorrow and the rest of the tournament, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I'm here with the Mount Union baseball team. 11-10 loss. Coach, kind of just talk about your thoughts about the game.
Well, you know, you know, we were down by 5 runs in the first couple of innings there, and you know, one thing that's really impressive about this team this year is that they're resilient, and we don't give up, and we keep pushing and pushing. You know, we made some mistakes that hurt us a little bit. They did too. It's a game of baseball and everything, but you know, we just it's tough. You know, with your pitching and stuff. That if you look at our team earlier, I think we pitching wise, we really had a little bit better performance as it relates to not giving up the freebies. Okay, as it relates to walks and those type of things. Not for lack of effort. Okay, that's on us as coaches. We're responsible for coaching them up and getting them ready to perform at a high level. You know, so in this type of game, just tells you what kind of team we are. And unfortunately, we were on the wrong end of the stick. You know, I kind of looked at the stands, and when we gave up the 5 runs, I noticed it cleared out a little bit. I wasn't done, and they weren't done. And you know, you saw the results, and we came within 1 run. And we could beat ourselves up, like I told them earlier, beat ourselves up till we're blue in the face, but we did everything that we could within reason to put ourselves in a position to win the game, and that's all you can ask.
Can you talk about Zach a little bit after giving up the 5 runs in the first 2 innings? He settled down and he anchored you guys there for a while, and the offense came alive.
Yeah.
Through I think 118 pitches or something crazy. So.
Right, and you know, you look at it and you're thinking, did we do overkill with that, with the pitch count? I mean, you can second guess yourself as a coach when he's rolling, and you know, he's got a good rhythm going and everything else, and you know, that's a tribute to him. You know, he will tell you personally, he doesn't think he's had the year that he should have had. I disagree with him. He's had more adversity, people know about him, and as a result, it becomes harder. You know, because it becomes harder, then you just have to battle through that. And a tribute to him, you saw 5-0, we come back, he holds us where we need to be, and we had an opportunity to win the game. So that's all you can ask of the young man, and I'm proud to have him as a part of the team, and he came back to be in this position. And I will tell you, like we talked about, the guys are down and everything, we're coming back tomorrow, be ready to go.
Can you talk about Jared a little bit? Had a triple today. Anchor at first base, it seems like pretty well for the guys. Kind of level-headed, just gets the team going.
Yeah, I tell you, Jared, as far as I'm concerned, I think he was the MVP of the league. That's the kind of effort that he's had. I don't tell him that much, okay? But that's what I really think about him. And, you know, he's done a great job. He's not going to be, you know, executing every at-bat and everything. You know, we expect the superstars to do it every time, but it's not realistic. But he's there for us. He's won a lot of ball games for us. And yeah, he's going to look at it, I struck out, coach. Well, who cares? You know, you did a lot of other things during that game to help us put us in a position to win the game. And that's what I'm really proud of. So, you know, we talked, and, you know, we talked a little bit about us as a team. I think we've done a really good job of having each other's backs. Maybe we've wandered a little bit. That's human nature. But these guys will be back tomorrow.
Jared and Zach, can you guys just talk about the game a little bit? 11-10, back and forth battle. Just talk about how exciting it was to be in a game like that.
Yeah, you know, in the first and second inning, it's unfortunate that, you know, I had a rough stretch there, but I'm happy with the way I settled in and just battled. So it's unfortunate that we're on the losing side of this, but I'm happy with, you know, everyone on the team for getting back in it and not giving up.
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew what we were getting into before this. I mean, obviously every team in this region is good and they're here for a reason, but so are we. You know, obviously some things didn't bounce our way, but I mean, looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this whole weekend. I mean, it's going to be a really fun weekend with a lot of really good teams, and you know, all we can do at this point is just lean on that brotherhood and lean on everything that got us to this point.
For Zachary and Jared, it's the first time in the NCAA tournament for you guys. You know, the opponent today, Catholic, they've been there. Were there any I guess additional nerves, or did it? You played at home, which you've played at home, you know, a lot. I mean, you're familiar, but it's also there's signage up there, and there's a lot of different things going on. Was there anything that kind of feel different early on, and then maybe that kind of contribute to a little bit of a slow start, or is it just kind of sometimes how baseball goes?
I think it's just how baseball goes. I don't think we gave in to the pressure at all, and I just think that it's just ball. It's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree. I know something we say a lot is don't get too high and don't get too low. Just kind of roll with the punches. So, I think we're prepared. I think we're ready for this moment, and just gotta turn the page like Coach says and keep moving forward.
Zachary, after you mentioned the tough start, then you settled in, retired 12 men in a row. Was there something that changed? Did you make a mechanical thing, or just get more comfortable, or find something out there? Was there any one thing that changed, or was it just getting, I guess, the general settled in?
It was getting settled in, but I also think I was trying to do too much in the first and second. But I came in after the second and quit trying to blow the ball by people and just pitched to contact, and I had success after that. So I think that was the biggest thing for me.
Talk about how big, all three of you, how big this is for the program to be able to make it to the NCAA tournament, but then also host the NCAA tournament.
Well, it's huge. I've been here a while. And, so as a result, I look at my career starting and everything where we wanted to go. At the start, Marietta was the theme, team as it related to, and I think that's where we're at now. We're in that position, with these guys and the seniors that I've had and everything to get there. I know I talked to Coach Karras at one time, and one of the things we always talked about is that sometimes when you're new to a level of, like, for example, the tournament last weekend, that was new for our team. Only two of the guys had been in the OAC playoffs before. So there's an acclimation there, what to expect and everything. And I think the same thing here. I think we were ready today. I don't know if you guys, I think you'll agree. We got through that helped us, what we went through last weekend. And we put ourselves in a position against very good teams. Everybody thinks it's real easy, but they're here for a reason too. So I think going forward here, I think the program is probably developed a new level, and the expectation is going to be there.
Last question. So tomorrow, early wake up. Gonna be a lot of energy drinks, I have a feeling, for you guys. But kind of just talk about it. It's against Grove City, 8:30 a.m. Both teams looking for their first NCAA tournament win. Just kind of talk about what it feels like you guys could get one maybe tomorrow.
Well, I think, honestly, just from the very beginning, I think that this whole season has just been one big test from the Lord, honestly. Like the past 2 years, not making playoffs, missing by one game, to now being in the position we're at now. It's really exciting. And, like what Coach was saying, to, hopefully change this program. A lot of us seniors have said that our only goal is just to leave this program better than the way we found it. And, the season's not over yet, but I think we'd like to say that we succeeded in that. So, just keep moving forward and hopefully, making this kind of like a tradition where, our eyes aren't really set on the OAC, but it's set on something much higher and much greater than this. So, just keep it pushing, and win tomorrow will be big, but you gotta take it one step at a time, one game at a time.
Cool. Everyone good? Yeah. Well, thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll see how it goes.